Hello everyone, I am Kate and I grow greater good. Thank you for tuning in with me this evening as I share quite a few things with you guys this evening. The first of which being that I did go ahead and break my water only fast yesterday evening, and the way of which that came about was it was my mom's birthday and we decided to go out for Chinese food, and I'd been craving egg drop soup, so I was thinking, I'll have some egg drop soup. It's pretty much water. And then I figured, well, I'll have some tea with lemon. It's pretty much water. And then I said to myself, who am I kidding? I'm not fasting anymore. I've just broken it. So I then decided to eat some cashew chicken and all the veggies with that, being very, very moderate about the amount of chicken I was eating and cutting everything up tons of times and chewing very, very thoroughly. I also had mandarin chicken that was fried with a very sticky sauce. So I only had 2 small pieces of that, half of a fried wonton. I know it just keeps getting longer and longer. Watch. I also had my fortune cookie, and then I came home. And as we were playing Scrabble, we all kind of snacked. And I had a popcorn that was drizzled with dark chocolate and sea salt, and it doesn't have any GMOs, and it's no high fructose corn syrup, along with a bunch of other things. So it's really a rather healthier popcorn. And I had some hot wing chips, and I love chips. They're like my kryptonite, so I probably could have eaten the entire bag just because they're chips. The flavor was okay. But if anything, I knew that if I continued to eat them, that of everything, those would probably really hurt. Like, those would have been, one way or another, they would have hurt. So, and I didn't know what my eating, the type of effect my eating was going to have on me. So I didn't eat a whole bunch of those. By a few, I'm going to say probably like 5 to 7 chips, and then I put them back. I also had a peanut butter cookie that my mom made, as well as peanut butter M&Ms, and I felt fine. I did worry throughout the night. I think I woke up like once or twice thinking like, am I gonna be okay? Am I okay? Does my stomach hurt? Of which it didn't. But you read so many horror stories of people who fast and then they just go crazy when they break their fast. And then they're in bed with flu symptoms for an entire day, puking and just all this stuff, And I didn't want that to be me. So I don't know if what's helped thus far is the fact that I am eating small portions. I know it sounds like I had a lot of stuff, which I had a wide variety of stuff. However, I had small portions of everything, and I chewed everything very, very thoroughly. So this morning, the second day of what I'm going to call refeeding, I started off with a banana and a Greek mixed berry yogurt, which was very good. It was very difficult to finish both of them, so I left about 1/3 of the banana, and I did do my best to eat all of the yogurt. The reason being is that the yogurt is supposed to be good for your digestive system, and I figured, after awaking it so abruptly, the yogurt may do some good in, calming it back down, even though it wasn't really doing anything. I later then went for a chai tea latte at one of my favorite cafes, and it was, while I was drinking that latte, I started to notice that my stomach felt almost acidic-ish, like just bubbly, just kind of like weird, uneasy. It wasn't hurting, it just was feeling odd. So I just kind of kept an eye on that. And then another interesting thing is before breaking my fast, I had all these things that I wanted. Cucumber salad and a bean and cheese burrito and meat. And when I started eating again, I found that, I didn't really want too many things all of a sudden. And I still wanted this bean and cheese burrito though. So I decided to go to one of our local restaurants that makes their own tortillas as well as their own refried beans, and get Javier and I one of those, my son, for lunch. So we had one of those for lunch, and I felt fine with it. Then, let's see, what else have I had today? So, even after eating this bean and cheese burrito that I've been craving, I thought the craving would go away. It did not. I still wanted another one. So I'm like, maybe this is a protein thing. So I had half of a multigrain whole wheat honey turkey provolone sandwich. Really good. Still wanted that bean and cheese burrito. So I don't know what it is with that thing, but I want it. Like, I still want another one. A few other things I've eaten today were, let's see here. Strawberries, a kiwi, an entire bell pepper, an entire cucumber, fried potatoes with onions, garlic, cheese, and bacon bits. And they did have olive oil. And they were red potatoes. Now, again, it sounds like a lot of food. However, it was all just small increments and eaten throughout a period of time, not just all in one sitting. More like just kind of a snacking almost every so often. Now, really cool thing that I also did was I like ranch dressing for my vegetables. It's just not usually the healthiest thing. So I took the little packet of ranch that you can buy the seasoning, and I put it into a Greek plain yogurt, mixed that up, and it tastes just as if it were made with sour cream. Very good. But again, small increments of the food, and then chewing it very thoroughly. Oh yeah, I did have 2 of these. These need to just like be gone from my house already. Obviously, I'm aiding in that process. Oh, and then I did make my own chai tea latte as well. And I did that with real chai tea bags and just a tiny bit of all-natural honey as well as almond milk. So it is good, and my stomach has not been bothersome thus far. I feel that as long as I'm compensating everything, I feel like I shouldn't be eating like this cookie with, you know, tons of fruit and veggies, backing that up. Then maybe hopefully that's helping. Also chewing thoroughly. And I don't know. I mean, I'm eating. I'm not eating the way that is recommended when you break a fast. So if you're curious, as I was curious, this is how I've been thus far. I feel better, by the way, having had broken the fast and eating again. Weight, let's talk about my weight. I was 170 when I started. I weighed myself yesterday morning and I weighed 136, so I've lost 34 pounds throughout the 28 days of water-only fasting. I really don't intend on ever doing that again. It was just horrible at times to be as tired as I was. And I mean horrible for me. I'm not that type of person. It was very boring for me, very difficult. It was a very challenging process for myself. So I do want to show you guys some pictures really quickly here. And this is the first one. It is from 2006. And yeah, that was me. I weighed about 250 pounds, I believe. And I was pushing a size 24, 26. I'm 5 feet tall and half an inch. So that much weight on a person, you know, it was quite a bit. And I was kind of like, figured I was healthy because I didn't have health problems. I was very mobile. I felt fine. You know, I don't think I realized I was that big. I wonder to myself, you know, how did I get this big? How did this happen? And I have several ideas. But I think mostly you don't realize it's happening when it happens. It's not like you wake up one day and you're like, oh my God. But you just don't realize how big you become. So I'm glad to no longer be that size anymore. And then this was me, around that time I started to eat like or follow a calorie counting thing, keeping it under a certain amount of calories, and I lost some weight that way. And then here's this picture, and this one here is from 2010 when I started my low carb diet, more or less. So, and this was less, I weighed less in this picture than this one. This one I want to say was around 200-ish, maybe 210, 220. This picture here was in 2013, this previous summer, and I weighed maybe no more than 160. So between the two, I did a low carb diet off and on, for the past 3 years in that picture there. So a lot can be overcome in life. And I think that's what I'm going to start sharing with you, is not only the journey of, you know, my water fasting, but my weight loss in general has always been, well, I mean, more or less a struggle for me. You know, it probably is for a lot of people, but this to what I am now, it's prideful, you know, but it's also scary to think about gaining that weight back. There's something that kind of, you know, you worry about that coming back. But I have a lot of life experiences. And what I want to do is I want to show you that I'm human. We all have faults. We learn from them. And I want to help encourage you guys that no matter how different we think we are, we're all human. We can get through and overcome a lot of things. With that being said, I'm going to be off of probation in about a month. Yeah, probation. So I have some tips and pointers for those of you who end up with DUIs as well. And that's something I'm going to get into in one of these videos. I was in a 10-year marriage and left that, and walking away from that when you've got a family and 2 houses and a bunch of other things is not the easiest thing to do, among several other things. But I survive each and every day, and I have. So I want to help you guys, or inspire you, encourage you, let you know that everything and anything is always possible. So if you guys have any questions for me, maybe I've been through it, maybe I haven't, maybe I can just give some advice that may help out. Feel free to ask, and I'll, you know, post a YouTube video about it and see, you know, see what I can do, if anything at all. But I will get to that of which I hope to help with people who have had DUIs or recently got a DUI, among several other things here. But I also want to thank everyone who supported me, not only throughout my entire life, like my family, and friends, but those of you who have also most recently supported me through my fast. So thank you all very much for your support that you continue to give. It is so greatly appreciated and motivating as well. With that being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you have a good evening.